you doing, guys? This is Joss from Kingdom DTF. Welcome one more time to the channel. And if this is your first time, I want you to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and share the videos with anyone that is looking for DTF printing knowledge, because here we got it, direct to film printing knowledge. Also, we're going to start talking about maybe in the future about sublimation, heat vinyl, and DTG again. Because if you go to my first video was about how to start a business from home with a coater and also a heat vinyl. Because everyone at some point start in somewhere, and I know a lot of people have started their teacher business doing the heat vinyl or sublimation. That's why we want to start talking about that too. And also because people always looking for something new as to start something new on the teacher business. So today's video is basically the basics again of the AcroRIP 10 or DTG RIP 10. So when you get your AcroRIP 10, you're going to get a download software from the dealers. In this case, if you are a Kingdom DTF customer and you purchase the software through us, you're going to get the download, or you can ask for that. And then you're going to receive your USB dongle key so you can open actually the software. Okay, the AcroRIP need a physical USB key. So once you do that, you're going to be able to click and open the software. So this is AcroRIP, and we're going to talk about the basics again, because there's a lot of people asking how to print only white, how to print only color, how to do certain stuff, and they don't know it. Even we have in the past more video about it, but we're doing this video again so people can understand better. And if I'm missing something, just put it down on the comments below, because that way I can maybe make a new update later about that. So the last version of the AcroRIP or DTG RIP is 10.3. So this version, what it did is just add a few printers available for the users. So if we go down here at the printer tab and we go to printer and we open that menu, over here is the list of all the printers that they are available on AcroRIP 10. So you can use it to do DTF, or if you are, for example, maybe more interested in DTG and you want to do it yourself, like convert a printer and make a plugin for that printer specifically, or just a few printers that it can be done, you can also do that. So the version 10.3 just bring the Epson XP 15,000. As you can see here, it's very popular right now at this moment because it's the cheapest printer that you can get and convert to do DTF. After that, you are followed by the L1800. That was the first printer, desktop printer, that was converted to DTF. Okay, it doesn't mean that the L1800 is a DTF printing. It's not. It's just a convert printer to do DTF. Just like the same, if you put sublimation ink, you can use that printer to do sublimation. So in this case, it's similar, using the DTF inks and doing some modification to the printer. So, excuse me. So we got that one. Then on the bottom, you can see a bunch of printers that were added, like the R1900, the R2000. I think that one, the 2000 was already, and the 3000, but the other ones I didn't saw that one. Also P400, 600, 800 have been there, but these two are new. The 5000 and the 6000 are new. Together, if I'm not mistaken, with a few of these over here. And the last printer that they add is the EcoTank ET85 or ET8550. That is a new model that Epson just did. Regular paper and also a 13x19. That is a wide format printer. Okay. All right, guys. So let's continue. So now, after I explained that list of printers, let's talk about this menu over here just for a moment. The menu at the top, you got files. You're going to find how to open a design. So basically import a design. Also, you're going to find a few stuff like units that you can change it from centimeters or millimeters to inches. So if you are based in United States, I'm going to recommend put it as an inch because we're going to set our templates and also our layout as a 13x19. So I'm going to show you that just in a moment. Then you got your nozzle check and your head cleaning. So instead of using the direct management of the printer, you can do it right here. So it's always recommend before you start printing a job to do a nozzle check to verify which nozzle is missing. If you got all the lines, it's good to go. If you're missing nozzles, it's recommend that you do a head cleaning. Okay, so that way you get all your lines, and that way you're not going to have problems with any missing color or anything like that. You got edit language is going to be default English. Then you got view and help. For the help of the program, I go to recommend you can go to the Facebook group for the AcroRIP. It's going to be, I think, more easy for you because over there have a bunch of members that if you ask any question, including me, I'm in that group, so anyone can help. Okay, so after that, what you want to do is come here to the layout and we're going to set it as a 13x19. Okay, that's going to be this space over here because we're going to be dealing with sheets. Okay, so later you want to create a template. I go to recommend to create a template because that way you know where you're going to put your design. If you don't create a template and you open a design over here and you're using, for example, A4 sheets and you put all this space, the design, obviously your design is going to get cut in this corner on the bottom. So the template is going to be the size of the sheets so you can know your safe area, where to put the design and where not to put it, so you don't get a cut design. Templates, I already got here mine, but yours is going to be, for the first time, it's going to be in blank. So you go to create for the A4 if you go to use it. You go to create for the A3 and the A3 Plus, that is a 13x19. Okay, so if we go to the A3, I put 0.100 in the X and Y, that's the top and also the left side, the left corner, where the print head basically start printing and moving. And this is just a little bit of gap that I want to leave over there. Okay, but if you don't want to leave any gap, you can leave it as a 0. The important is the width and also the height, because that's going to be your print, the size of the sheet that you're using at the moment. So you're using an A4, it's going to be 8.3 by 11.5. The rest of the number can stay the same. If you're using A3, it's going to be 11.7 by 16.5. And the A3 Plus is going to be 13 by 19. Okay, again, let me show you that numbers so you can grab it and just create your templates. And that way it's going to be more easy for you when you're printing. So let's choose the A3. We're going to hit apply and an OK. And you're not going to see anything yet because we don't have any design. So let's import the design. And we're going to choose this samurai over here. But I go to choose this version over here that I'm already knock out the black. Okay, so double click just to open that, and this is going to be my design. Now that I got my design, the first thing that I'm going to recommend is make the design the size that you want. If you want this bigger, you can do it. You know, at this point, I don't care about this line over here, the blue one that is outside the red one. I don't care because all this is a transparent background. Okay, it's a PNG, as you can see here. It's a PNG and it's a 253 dpi. These pixels. What I care is this part over here. If I make it this, as you see, part of the sword over here is outside the line. So that means when I put that sheet and I start printing, everything's going to print except this over here because it's going to get cut. Because that's the sheet I'm using. So you want to keep that inside, just inside. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to keep it this way, and you're going to have, you know, a really good amount of the design. You know, it's already 11.85 as you can see here, and then the height is 12.85. So it's a big printer. It's a big print that we're going to print out. After that, you want to come over here at the top and you want to mirror. Remember that excuse me, that you want to mirror all your designs, because that's the way that is going to print for DTF, just like sublimation need to mirror the design. Okay, because you're going to be creating a transfer for the shirt or a transfer for your customer. All right, so now let's go to printers, and for this, let's say that you're having a Epson L1800. So you're going to choose your printer, Epson L1800. You're going to choose your printer from the USB port. In this case, I'm not connecting to any printer right now, and the L1800 is not even in my computer right now, the drivers. So I only got this one or this one. So let's say that I'm going to use this one. Resolution is really important. It's going to define how good is going to look your design, but also how fast is going to print the printer, especially the L1800, that a lot of people don't like it because they said that it's too slow. So I'm going to agree with that, with the L1800 being slow, but it's an older printer. It's not like a printer that came out yesterday. And that's something that people don't realize, that this printer have been in the market for a while. And it's going to be like that. I mean, you cannot change the speed, but there's a trick that I'm going to explain just in a moment. Okay, so you're going to choose that. Paper size always is going to be off. Always. If you have the paper size on, your printer is going to be trying to figure out what paper you're using, and then it's going to give you an error and spill the sheets. So you want to have this part over here always off. The resolution, again, the more high you got your resolution, the more it's going to take to print that colors. It's going to come out great, but it's going to be a long time. So we are learn about this lesson with the 1440 by 1440. That is a really good quality, but the prints can take around 20 minutes, and you don't want that, especially if you got a lot of orders. Now, if you don't mind to wait for that time and you want to give your customer high quality, you can use 1440 by 1440. If you want to cut that time in half, maybe to 10 minutes or 9 minutes, you can use the 1440 by 720. It's got to be a printing faster, and it's got to be also a good quality. Okay. You want your printhead to move bi-directional. That means that every time move to the left or to the right, it's going to be dropping ink. I know that some people going to say that they prefer mix. You can use a mix. So what I'm going to recommend to you is that print a design with these two channels in mix, and then print another design with a medium plus large, and see which one you like better. I know that people have using medium to large and also mix, so it's got to, at this point, it's got to be your preference, how you see your design. But for me, I prefer medium to large. Okay, so now we're going to go to color. In color, because we are using the L1800, it's a 6-color printer, so this is the incorrect, well, it's the correct one, but we need to set up the correct way so that the software tell the printer do the white. Okay, so by doing that, you click here setup, and it's going to bring the setup ink channel. So this is the order that you want. So for the L1800, it's going to be JKWWMC. That is the yellow, black, white, magenta, and cyan. You want to use this one over here, and click OK, and you're going to see that it's going to change. Okay, so this is the percent of the ink limit that you can use. The max, I believe, in this version is 100%. So I'm going to recommend, if you're using 1440 by 720, maybe you want to do white 80%, start from there, and then you want to do the color 60. That way you're going to have a better print and more pop-up colors. And if you using the 1440 by 1440, you can lower your white to 60, and the color you can do 40. And you go to say, maybe you're thinking like, oh, but wait, if I lower the percent, then it's not going to be popping up. And in some cases it can happen, but because you choose to print in a high resolution, then the printer is going to give you better colors. And then if you put too much percent with a high resolution, then what is going to happen is that the colors, the design is going to come too dark. So instead of red, maybe it's going to be more like a red looking like a blood, or you know, a blue, a cyan is going to come out looking more dark blue or navy blue, maybe even purple. So sometimes happens. So you want to always try to manage the percent of the inks and see which one is give you better. But we doing, let's say that we're going to say always 1440 by 720. So let's do the 80, and then over here we can do 60. If you want even more white, you can go ahead and do 100, and that's going to be fine. Or here you can do maybe 50 and leave it as 100. Okay, so that's the colors. Then for the white, over here you're going to see that the white layer you can do gradients, and you can do solid. So 100% white under any color pixel, this one is the one you want to use when you're printing a design that is going to go on a black or dark shirt. Okay, because it's going to cover the design with more white, and that design, when pressed on the shirt, is going to last longer. It's going to be better. The washability also is going to be better, and the stretchability with, in combination with the powder, is going to be even more better. Okay, if you're doing white or light color, you can do gradients, because obviously in a white shirt you don't want to put the max of the white ink, so you can do a gradient, so that way you're still having white but not that much that is going to consume more white for you. Also here you can do knockout blacks. I already did this one in another software, but over here you can do it, and you got the color and the white. So these two over here, I'm going to explain this because it's going to be important for you if you especially want to print white. You're going to see why this one is important. So if we go to preview this on a black shirt, as you can see, this design is going to be looking super awesome. It's a samurai with a classic 80s style glasses, and the color is, more neon. For that theme is to go for more neon. So I like this design, it's really nice. So on a black shirt, it's got to look super cool. This is the premium color, and then if you want to see a white, this is the premium in white ingredients. Okay, so basically this is what is going to put the inks. That is going to be a little bit more here white, but here it's going to be a less, because you're going to be pressing this design to a white shirt. But if it's for black shirt, go with 100%, and you're going to see that now it's more bright, because it's going to put more white to the design. Also here is the pixels for the white ink choke, what we know as a choking. Sometimes when you're printing the color plus white, if you don't do any choking for that ink, for the base, on the base, you're going to see that you're going to have a little bit of lines. So this one over here is going to help you with that. So on this design, I can say maybe you can leave it as 5, or maybe you can do 7. But let's say that you got like a small design, more detailed design, or something that says here, let's say in a small letter, cyberpunk samurai or something like that. Maybe you don't want to choke that too much. Maybe you want to choke like 2, because the letter is going to be so small, and you don't want to take white ink from that letter, because you want to have them with the same amount of white. Okay, that makes sense? I hope so. Okay, so that's it for the basic, guys. So basically all this that I explained to you is the basics. Okay, so a very important question that someone asked me a lot of times, people asking me, is how do I print only white? How do I print only white? So to print white, we are going to only print white. What we want to do under the tab white, you want to change your design to white. Okay, you don't want color, you want white. So you put it on white, you come back to printer, and when you click print here at the top, it's going to open for you the printing window. And over here, you're going to tell the software to only print white. So that means that if you see the color settings is at 1, you want to put this one 0, and then the white settings, you want to put it 1 because you want to print on white only. So in this case, you don't need to click these two over here because you're printing only white. I want 1 copy, I want 2 copy, I want 10 copies of the same design in white. I go to put it here and then click print. That is how you print white. Okay, I hope this makes sense to you guys, because if you leave it as it is with the color in the other side and then you tell the software to print white plus color, it's going to do it. But just to print only white, this is how you do it. Okay, so now I'm going to click cancel, and it's going to be the same for color. If you want to print only color, go back to color, go back to printing, click print over there, and this going to open again. So in this case, you want the white to be 0 and the color you want to be only 1. That is going to be printing only colors. Okay, so what about this option here on the bottom that right now are unchecked? So these two, you're going to check these two when you want to print both colors. You want to print the color plus the white. So this is how the DTF transfers are made. So to have the 2 colors, okay? To have the 2 colors. So it's in color, you're going to print, click here, and then you want to tell the software that you want to print color first, but you want also white and the color. So look what happens when I click this option over here. You're going to see that the color section is going to become gray. It's going to become unclickable. You can set that. And then the white copy is going to become 1. Do you see? Because you're telling the software to print the 2 colors at the same time. And the software is going to tell the printer, go ahead and do this. Also, you can find more details about your settings. You can see here the ink limit 60 for each color. The white is 80. You can see that you have a profile that is off right now. So I'm going to explain that just in a moment, where you can put your ICC profile. It's going to tell you the output size of the print and also which printer you're using, and over here the white layer if you're doing 100% or if you're doing a gradient. Okay, be attentive to this over here, because sometimes it changes by itself. Let's say that you want 100%, but if you don't look at it, sometimes it can be an ingredients, and then when you print, you're going to say, "But wait, what happened with the white?" And it's because you did not saw this over here that says gradient. So make sure that it's 100% if you need it. Okay. So again, to print only white, you go into the white tab. You click white. You're going to see the design changing to white. You're going to go to print. You're going to say, I don't want color, I just want white, and click print. For the color, the same. Go back to color. Go back to print. I don't want white, I want only color. Now, if you want to do for the black shirts, you need the underbase, the white underbase. Print first the color, and then on top, print my white. And it's going to be everything set. So I hope, guys, so far this video have been, helping you to understand better the AcroRIP The software is super easy, super simple. It's a good RIP software that you can use to start doing DTF. You can use it for DTG, and also you can use it for doing UV lights, the UV. Now, something that the software don't have yet that I think the company is working on it is that you can only import or open one design at a time. So I cannot open another design. For example, let's do this one. If I open it, it's going to open on a different page, and it's not going to open on the same page. So this means that I cannot print these two designs on the same sheet, okay? Because it's going to open it different. So I hope they can, work with this and be close to release that version if they're doing it, so that people can actually open different files and have it on the same sheet. That's going to be, I think, a super upgrade for the software in this case, because all the versions from AcroRIP have never had that feature before. Okay. Another thing that you want to be attentive to your design is that AcroRIP don't see transparency really well. So if you want to have transparency in your design, I'm going to recommend to maybe do something more solid so you can have better results. So I'm just thinking right here at the top, you can see that these lines are more like a rasterization, but it's part of the design. If they got transparency, the AcroRIP is not going to see it really well, and what it's going to do is going to interpret that, or the best way possible to print that part over there, but it's going to be more like a solid. Okay, it's not going to be like a fading or something like that. Okay, now let's stay in color, and let me show you something cool with this. So let's say that you want this design a few times, right? Let's say that it's going to be for a chess logo, and you want to print this maybe 4 times. So what you can do is come to the layout, and you're going to see the X and the Y here. So over here you can put 2, and you see that it was duplicate. Now it's really too far. So the X you have in this space over here, you got like 13 in between this design and this one. So we want maybe to put 5. Nope, that's too close. So put 9. That's outside the area that we want to print. Maybe 7. Still the design is too having too much space. So over there I like it, but still I'm missing here. You see that is cutting a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just make a little bit the design smaller and make sure that this part is inside my template and not outside, so that way it don't get cut. Okay, so now you got 2 of these of the same software, of the same design that you're going to print. So that means that we got more space here, so maybe we can put 2 more on the bottom. So Y is going to be for that. So for Y, let's do also 6, and we want to have another copy. So this one is too close to this. So as you can see here, it's too close. So we're going to give them more space, maybe 7, and there you got it. So now you got the one image. You basically repeat that image um, 4 times. I mean 3 times to be able to print 4 logos. Assuming this is going to be a chess logo because the size for each one is going to be around 6 inches. So we come to white, tab, and put preview. This is going to be how it's going to look on a black shirt. Also, the black, you can change it. I don't mention that, but the black, you can change that over here. Let's say that you want to maybe do, let me see. Maybe orange, I'm not sure. Orange shirt. You can change that, but it looks super awful. So in that case, let's say that you want to preview something. How is it going to look on an orange shirt? This design, as you can see, is not good for orange shirts because we remove all what is black, so we can use the black shirt as a background. So where you're supposed to go, okay? By doing this, when you knock out the black from a design, what you're doing is basically not using a black ink because you're going to be using the black shirt as a background or as the color. So this is going to help also the transfer to be more softer than it should be because you're not using that ink. Okay, color or white, and there you got it, guys. I think that's all the basics that I know. Maybe there's more stuff that I even don't know about this software, but as you can see, the software is super easy, super really nice to understand. Let's do something. Let's go to the other design so you can see something for the black knockout. Okay, so about this picture. So this picture over here, the black is not removed. So if you print this for DTF right now as it is, it's going to print all the square. Okay, all the square is going to print all the square. And also I'm noticing by previewing that this part over here, the skull, and also the eyes don't have white on his forehead over here don't have white. So you want to print, let me see. Yeah, so the design, those two were taken off for some reason. I don't know why, but it looks like that. I don't know. This design is not mine. I was just searching online and I said, okay, let's grab this one just for the tutorial. Okay. So if you got a solid image like this one that got a square background or something like that, and you go to white, you go to see all the square that is going to be printing with the white ink, and you don't want that. What you want to do is always have your design with a transparent background, so you eliminate these and don't have just like you took a picture and just make the transfer and put it on a shirt. You want something professional, especially if you want to sell the transfer for your customers. You want something professional that looks good, that looks like this, with a transparent background that is not on the way, it's not going to leave the square, it's just only going to print the design. Now let's go back to color, and if we're going to remove some of the black stuff, so let's start here. 99% eliminate basically all. If you can see, eliminate for this design everything. So if we go to preview on a black shirt, so there's your black shirt and your design, but as you can see, it's missing some stuff like this over here. It's missing white over here. So this means that this design is not good for printing right now, because what you want is like this, the eyes to look like it should be and all of that. Sometimes happens that even you telling the software to remove the black or something like that, it doesn't show the other colors. And my guess is this over here. Let me show you. You see here on the left side, image information. You see that the DPI, this resolution, is 118. So for me, that's too low. This is a DPI that is too low. You want to have a DPI that is actually at least 150. But if you can have 300 DPI for your design, that's going to be even better. Okay, with a DPI of 300, the advantage is that you can minimize or you can make bigger your design. And you saw that it was pixelated, but now it's okay, and that is because it got a bigger high resolution in DPIs and pixels. Okay, so if you go more smaller, you're going to see that it's going to have a better DPI, and if you go higher, it's going to have at least almost 252 DPI or something like that. And for me, that's good enough, because any design that is more than 150 is good to print, but the recommended DPI to print is 300. Sometimes if you're doing something that is super high details, you want to go 600 DPI. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, guys, so I think I cover all the basics in this tutorial. If I'm missing something, just let me know. Let me see. Let's go to layout. We discussed the paper size and everything. Here we discussed the resolution, the printer, the USB, the port, and everything that you need to take. Paper size off. On color, how to set up the channel, the percent. Oh, that's something that I forgot to mention. The percent of the ink. Right now I'm telling the printer that the 4 colors is going to be 60, but in this case, this design don't have the black because I removed the black. So I can put the black, leave it as a 40, but I see that I'm going to have blue and purple. So maybe I want to increase cyan to be more pop up and put it as a 60. And the same for the yellow. Maybe I want to put the yellow 50, and then the magenta got just a little bit. So let's put the magenta in about 45, something like that. So also you can do that with when you decide to do each channel. You can manage the percent of the inks depending on your design over here, and that way you go to have also good results. Okay, so that's that. The white is going to be only on one channel there, and your ICC profile, important ICC profile. Many questions about the ICC profile. So each supplier, each dealer out there that is selling inks like ourselves or any other that you purchased before, excuse me, we're going to have ICC profile for you for free. At least my company, we do it for free. You can go to the website and you can download the ICC profile. So the ICC profile, what it's going to do is help the design when you print it out, help the design to look more close to the colors that you're seeing right now on your screen. Okay, because maybe I print this design right now, and everything that I'm seeing that is like purple, maybe it's coming a light purple, or the green is coming more like a neon green and not this one, or it's coming more light. Okay, so the ICC profile excuse me, if we do it the correct way, it's going to try to match the best possible way these colors right here that is going to print the printer. Now, not all ICC profile are the same. Not all this ICC profile work the same way, because when we do an ICC profile for specific inks or specific printers, they need to be used for that printer specifically, or the inks that you're using. So if you get a ICC profile from our website and you try to use with another inks that is not our inks, or the inks that we sell, that ICC profile is possible. It's going to have a more high percent that is not going to work with the other inks that you're getting, because I don't know the other suppliers what inks they're using. I don't even know where they buy their inks, if it's the same manufacturers we got or it's a different one, so that's why when people try different ICC profile from our company and different companies, and they say that they're not matching, but you're not using the ICC profile correct with the inks, sometimes it's going to match, but the most of the time it's not going to match. You're going to see that the colors is not even close to what you're seeing right now on the screen. And also, if the manufacturer change something in the formula of the inks, and we, for example, don't know about it, definitely, let's say that they put something more or something less on the inks to make it more blue or less blue, for example, and they don't tell that details to the person, to the dealer that is selling their inks, okay? The ICC profile, the blue is going to look different, because it was not made when the blue was like that. It was made when the blue maybe was different. Okay, so that's why we always try to have the ICC profile updated and available for you, but it's something that we try to manage the best way possible. Okay, so for the ICC profile, once you have the one you want to use with your inks, or if you make your own, what you want to go is to your PC. So you want to go to your PC, go to My C Drive, then the folder DTG RIP, go over there. Inside that, you're going to see that says profile. It's a folder. And inside that profile folder, you're going to see CMYK. And once you go there, you're going to see all the ICC profile that is shown over here, the software. So that is how you put an ICC profile. So for example, I don't want to, let me see. Let's say that this one, I copy that one. So if I go here and close that, you're going to see that it's also a copy. And over there is that the way you want to go. You want to go to that folders and drop any ICC profile that you got. Okay. So that was another question that I got a lot about. How do I put the ICC profile on the AcroRIP? How do I use it? And that is how you use it. So then let's say that I'm using the LET100, or let's say that you did this one, or this is the profile that the supplier give you, LET100. You want to leave this one as a photo. Well, sometimes it's recommended to use photo, but also you can use relative color metrics. So try both and see which color you prefer better, because maybe if you want to look that, a design that looks so bright and pop up like this one when you print or something like that, maybe in one of these is going to be better. But then let's say that you want to go and print something more vintage, it doesn't looks that pop up or something like that, and maybe in this one looks more vintage for you than this one, then that is what you want to do. Obviously saturation, but in saturation I have not seen anyone using saturation, to be honest, so they keep it between photo or color metrics over here. Okay. Excuse me. So now I can say, guys, that this is the tutorial for the AcroRIP 10, the DTF 10, that people have been waiting for, to see how, and something more explained, because I have been explaining really slow this, so I don't know how much it's going to take about on this video, but it's something that I want you to understand. So also you can come back and rewatch the video if you need to do it, or if you want to share with someone that is in need to understand better the AcroRIP, so you can do it. Because again, like I mentioned before, there is a lot of people that do not how to print only white or colors, or not even how to load the ICC profile like I just show you. Okay, so I think that's it, guys, for this tutorial. I go to stop it here. If you got any question, go ahead and put it on the comment below. I go to read that. I always try to reply to everyone. If not, go to the group. It's called USA DTF Printing. Over there we got more than 6,000 members right now, so if you need help with any question, just put it there, your question, and someone is going to always answer you. If not myself, I'm going to be there also looking for that. And thank you so much, guys, to be part of this family, of this community of DTF printing. My name is Joss from KingdomDTF.com. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much, guys. Keep printing.